Hey guys, I'm Davon Woods.
And I'm Tavon Woods.
And we are the Woods Twins.
Me and Davon got removed from our biological family at birth. Our biological mom didn't know she was pregnant with twins. So she was running the streets, doing drugs while pregnant with us. So when she went to the hospital, Davon came out first, and they was about to close her up, and it was like, hold on, it's another twin in there. And it was me. I was stuck behind her rib cage. So they rushed her into emergency C-section. Then I came out. We tested, both me and Davon tested positive for crack cocaine. They said we were so small that we could have fit in a shoebox. So we were very tiny. So my mom ended up signing some papers that she didn't really have full understanding of. And it was papers to have us removed. So after we got removed from our family, we stayed in a foster home with an older white couple. That's all we really remember until we was the age of 2. At the age of 2, we got adopted by the Woods family.
We got adopted by the Woods family at the age of 2. Me and Tavon didn't find out we was adopted until we was like a little, probably like around 10, 11. I don't really remember the age, so I would say probably around 10. But my biological name was Daquan Jacobs, and Tavon was still Tavon, but it was Tavon Jacobs. And we got adopted by the Woods family. They changed it to Davon Woods and Tavon Woods. Growing up was very hard for us. Just the idea of not knowing who your mom was, not knowing who your dad was, not knowing anything about yourself, because our adopted parents didn't tell us anything about why we was placed into the system, or we didn't have any background about our story. And it was very hard. I can remember times just crying, asking God, like, why me? Our adopted parents, they never, they never told us they love us. It was just very hard growing up, not being told I love you, and just the way that they used to treat us and the way that they used to look at us and fuss at us for no apparent reason, and, just stuff like that. And kids in the foster care system, they need a special kind of love, But it was very hard growing up. Me and Tavon started smoking around the age of 11, smoking and drinking, because we thought that was the medicine to our healing, for our healing. We was going through so much at a very young age. And the crazy part about it was we were surrounded by so many people, and nobody actually knew what we was going through because we never opened up about it. Oftentimes kids in the foster care system, they keep everything bottled in. That's how we was. We kept everything, and we never told anybody. We barely even talked to each other because we didn't really know how to express ourselves.
And can you imagine just growing up and then getting to that age, and you find out that these people aren't your real family, which we had an idea because we know we didn't look like my adopted family. We was the lightest ones. And just imagine growing up and you get to that age and you find out that these ain't your family, and then you like, so much thoughts go in your mind as a young kid, and you like, dang, I wonder how my mom look. I wonder how my dad look. I wonder if I got brothers, sisters. I wonder if my mom passed away. I wonder if they're still alive. So we had so much things formulating in our mind.
I wonder, do they think about us for our birthday?
Was like, I remember one time, I do remember this very vividly. I mean, one time me and Davon got a beating or something, and I remember sitting at the window. I was crying. I was like, dang, like, I wonder if my real family is out there. Like, now I started thinking, like, I wonder, do they sing us happy birthday? Things like that, man. So it's very hard. Like, it's very hard. Just like to everybody, I thank God for my adopted parents. But we missed out on so much. Like, so much stuff that a kid needs. We didn't receive any of that stuff. And that's why we fighting so hard, because this kid's just like us.
Yeah, so it's crazy, man, just having to tell people, like, our mom is white and we're from Alaska.
And we know we wasn't from no Alaska.
Yeah, but we didn't know exactly where we was from, so we had to come up with, I don't even know why we chose Alaska. That's the crazy part about it. But anyways, growing up was extremely hard. And when we started getting older, we found our biological family at the age of 17. We were 17 years old. And the story behind it was we was coming back from Colombia. And the crazy thing is, our biological family is from Sumter, South Carolina, and we used to always go to Sumter because where we grew up at, we didn't have a mall or anything like that. So we used to always go to something for different things. And this particular day, we was coming back from Columbia, and Tavon was like, let's stop by the mall. And I was like, man, I'm trying to go home, man. Nobody want to stop at that whack mall. But he's like, let's just stop anyway. So we ended up stopping anyway. And the crazy part about it, I believe we was coming out of Route 21, and this guy approached us. He was like, man, y'all look like my cousins. And mind me, you know how sometimes you always hear that, like, yeah, y'all look like this person. So, we kind of been like, man, just another person. But he's like, nah, y'all look like my cousins. Then we was like, man, I mean, we is adopted, And then we told him my biological name. He's like, oh my gosh, y'all my first cousins. And then he just started calling up all our family, man. It was very crazy.
Yeah, and that whole situation was crazy because he was like, man, y'all look just like your older brother, this, that, and the third. And the crazy part about it was like, man, we was living a movie because once we that's how it happened. So we left that day, and then we stayed in contact. And so they set up a day where we came down and everybody was there. And man, that experience, I remember like it was yesterday. I remember me and Davon, we pulled up and man, it's so much people. We was at my aunt's house, and we get out the car, man, everybody hugging them. We don't know who these people is. They our family, but we don't know them from a can of paint. So we walking, we hugging the whole time. I'm like, dang, where my dad, where my mom at? That's who I was really like locked in. I was trying to figure out, like, are they, So we walking and we went to to a table with my aunts and all them. I didn't know they was my aunts, but one of them was real happy. My auntie Lil, she was real happy, and I was trying to figure out like which one was my mom. And then, my mom was sitting down over there. She didn't really say too much. She didn't the way that I expected it to be, like how you see on movies. I love you, hugs, kisses, crying, but it wasn't none of that. We met our parents, met our siblings, and they explained to us why we got removed. And, man, the crazy part about it, man, we never told our adopted parents. Like, we never told anybody. And it's like me and Davon be like, we tell our parents, our adopted parents, we be like, we about to go to Manor. We need to go to Manor and something real quick. The whole time we going to Sumter, which Sumter is like an hour. Manor is like 15, 25 minutes. So we go down there, we hanging out with our real family. I'm talking about we in high school. We seniors in high school. And that whole experience, it was crazy. Like, we was sneaking and going to see them. They were sending us stuff through the mail. We had to go into one of my cousin's house. It was crazy.
And the crazy part about it was we invited our real family to the graduation. And so, like, the whole time, like, my biological family, some of my sisters and them there, and then my adopted family there, but my adopted family don't know that our biological family is there. And it was just like, dang, like, but the good thing about it was my adopted parents, they left right after graduation. So, like, our biological family, they stayed, so it was crazy. But, the whole deal with our biological family is just like, I'm blessed to have met my biological family, but just like Tavon said, it wasn't really how we expected. Oftentimes kids in the foster care system, we have so many expectations because you don't know. So it's like, man, we waited all these years to finally meet our family, and honestly, man, we still feel like strangers to our own blood, But I'm still blessed that we, had the opportunity to meet them.
And a lot of people, when we kind of explain that to everybody, we let them know, like, I thank God I met my real family. Like, I love them to death. But you got to think about it on our end as kids. I'm talking about ever since we was kids, we was growing up 11, like when we found out like 9, 10. So we had 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. We growing up, we like, dang, bro. When we meet our real family, it's going to be like, sure, our parents going to be, they going to be married, big happy family. They going to be super excited. I'm talking about, they might have stuff for us. Like, you a kid, so you growing up like, dang, they probably stay in a mansion. You never know. So we had so much different thoughts. And it's like, when that time came, I'm not saying I was disappointed, but it's just like having that anticipation your whole life. And when that time comes, it's just like,
Yep. And the crazy part about it, after me and Tavon graduated high school, we did modeling and acting for a few And then that's when we just, after a while, we went to the streets because we never knew our background about ourselves. So growing up, we was doing all different types of stuff. We started smoking and drinking around the age of 11, but we didn't know why we was doing that stuff. But come to find out, once we started learning about our family, it's like, okay, that makes sense. But we started, selling drugs and getting into the street life, just going down the wrong path and, making all the wrong decisions. Doing all type of crazy stuff, but I just thank God that we're doing what we're doing now, and God has blessed us and He changed our life around. And I'll let Tavon sum it up.
Yeah, and it's just so crazy, man, because, man, you can only imagine us growing up, and just like I said, this not even our whole story. Our story has so much depth to it, but this is just to wrap it all up in a nutshell. But, man, me and growing up, man, and going through all that different stuff, me and Davon used to be like, man, why us? Like, God, why you put us through this? Like, we were adopted into a broken family, like, where it was just broken, and we like, God, why us? Why we going through all this, that, and the third? But now that we older and God changed our life around and everything is working together and we overcame, it's like now, it just took me like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, dang, like this is what I really supposed to be doing. Like I told Dave, because Davon was always on fire for it, but me, I lost focus. I was just focused on I got to provide for my family. But man, God brought that thing out of me. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. He allows us to go through that our whole life so that we can help so many kids get through it and fight for them. So that's what we're doing. We just fighting for a change in this wicked system and fighting for a change for kids like us.
Yeah, and that's our biggest goal, and that's our mission, to be the voice for every child without a voice. And that's why we do what we do. So yeah, our biggest goal that we're focusing on now is just building one of the biggest facility in the world for these kids, to provide these kids with a loving, safe, and a fun place to live. So yeah, that's pretty much just like Tavon said, we can go on and on about our story, but that's just a brief summary.
We can make you cry, we can make you laugh,
we can make you we also working on our trailer for our documentary as well. So we just want to be a voice for every child without a voice. The motto that we go by is, which we got from the House of Providence, is until every child has a home, and that's our goal, to be able to make sure that all these kids in the foster care system have a home. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for the opportunity. Hope everybody that watching this, hope you guys be blessed by our story. And just like I said, we can go on and on and on. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Have a blessed one. Make sure y'all follow us on TikTok.
Woods Twins, we out.